In Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader falls into sentiment and saves his son Luke Skywalker from the raw strength of his master, the Emperor Darth Sidious. Vader chooses his son's life over the life of the individual he has sworn to protect and serve. Because of this stark betrayal, the Emperor is caught off guard, and Vader is able to catch him by surprise and throw him down a cavern within his very throne room. Solely due to this betrayal was the Emperor stopped, and was Luke saved, and had the power of the Emperor eclipse both that of Vader as well as Luke, the galaxy would have been shaped far differently. Only by this change of heart on behalf of the Father was the galaxy saved. But what if this had not happened? What if after Vader turned on his master, Sidious was able to break free and release his full strength in the dark side on Father and Son, leaving nothing but ash in their place? What if Palpatine killed both Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader on the second Death Star? In Return of the Jedi, as Luke lay being tortured by the Emperor, the Sith Lord is only using a fraction of his true power on the young Jedi. In this moment, he wants the boy to suffer for his lack of vision and for denying the path of true power. In his final moments, Palpatine wants Luke to know true pain. When Vader picks him up, however, in this new scenario, he will hold nothing back from his apprentice. Sensing the betrayal of his student, Sidious would tap into his full power in the dark side of the Force, releasing everything. Because of this would instantly short out Vader's suit, dropping him to the floor. In disgust, Sidious again would unleash a deadly torrent of Force lightning towards his fallen student. As Vader's cybernetics would begin to completely fail him, Vader would be trapped helplessly within his suit. Sensing the anger of Vader, Sidious would resolve to make him suffer, but not of the physical pain Vader was so accustomed to. Again, Sidious would turn to Luke. With a smile, he would comment, "And thus ends the Jedi once more." Releasing more Force lightning at Luke, the boy would scream out, and then fall silent. For a brief moment, Vader's fury would boil over, as miraculously he would force himself to his feet. Reaching out with one arm, attempting to choke the Emperor, Sidious would leap forward, smashing into Vader with all of his remaining strength. As his apprentice again fell to the floor, Sidious would grasp him with the Force, flinging his body around the room. "Once again, Lord Vader, you have failed me." Reaching out with the Force, Luke's lightsaber would fly into Sidious's waiting palm. "Goodbye, Lord Vader." For a brief moment, the Dark Lord would pause, then smirk, plunging the green blade of Luke through Vader's chest. As all fell quiet, the Emperor would sense a great disturbance. "Impossible," he would say under his breath. With haste, he would quickly leave the room, calling to his royal guards, "Prepare my ship. This battle station has been compromised." As the Emperor finally reached his ship, the Death Star would begin to shake. For a moment, Sidious would pause, as Imperials all around him fled. Just then, he would barely make it onto his shuttle and depart the station. Only mere seconds later, the battle station would burst into flames and be instantly destroyed. Gritting his teeth, Sidious would hiss in anger, "Rally all troops to my location. These ideas, rebellion, resistance, I will burn them all away." As the rebel forces retreated back to Endor, Sidious would point, "There, the Jedi are no more. I alone will handle this rebellion." Suddenly, Sidious's shuttle would receive a transmission. "More troopers are on their way, sir." "Good." Out of the cloak of Sidious, two lightsabers would appear. "It is time for the rebels to learn the truth of their Emperor." Quick side note, in regular continuity, the reason it took the Empire so long to respond was because of the death of their leader. This moment of shock for the Empire allowed the rebels to regroup. After the Death Star, the Empire ordered a full retreat of all troopers from Endor. This will not be the case here. In truth, even on Endor, the Empire still largely outmatched the rebellion, and it was only after the Emperor's death that the rebellion gained the upper hand against the Empire. The loss of the Death Star was inconsequential compared to the true loss of Darth Sidious. The Empire not only lost a superweapon, but they lost the glue that held everything together. In this scenario, on the other hand, instead of this moment of peace that followed in Return of the Jedi, Sidious has ordered an immediate counter-response and is prepared to attack almost instantly. In Return of the Jedi, the power of the dark side of the Force truly outweighed the power of the Death Star, as even the mere presence of the Emperor has given the Empire great power. As Palpatine prepares to attack the rebels, a mysterious figure would appear to the rebel leader, Leia Organa. Seemingly appearing out of nowhere, the individual would introduce themselves as Grandmaster Yoda, and explain that through the power of the Force, they were able to return after death and commune with the rebel leader. Yoda would explain that Leia was the last hope of the Jedi, Jedi, and that only if she trained as a Force user could they save the galaxy and defeat the Emperor. The Grand Master would also tell her that she needed to flee the moon, and that the Emperor and the full power of the dark side of the Force would soon be upon them. In a moment of realization and sadness, Leia would ask what had become of Luke. Suddenly, a voice from beyond would call to her, as the voice of Luke would tell Leia that the Force was strong in his family, and that she was the last hope. Hearing Luke's voice, Leia would be filled with sadness, but would agree to flee with Han Solo as the night fell on Endor, and the Emperor and darkness approached. The battle between the Emperor and the rebels would not be long. With the rebel forces already diminished, Palpatine would tear through them with all of his men. Unflinchingly, Palpatine would display all of his power after the loss of Lord Vader, showing them his true might in the dark side. As the night crept on, the stormtroopers would be filled with a deep sense of fear for Palpatine as he mercilessly destroyed the rebels that still remained. When the dust settled and the sun rose on Endor, Palpatine would order his men to stay put as a shuttle arrived to take him off of the moon. Once safely on a Star Destroyer, Palpatine would order his men to fire upon all remaining troopers left on the moon of Endor below him. What? An officer would ask the Sith Lord in pure shock. Destroy them all, is all Palpatine would respond with. Another side note, in canon, Sidious is very careful how and when he uses his Force abilities, and when he is able, he will execute everyone that sees him use the Force, as to keep his identity as a Sith Lord hidden. This is why here he orders the troops on Endor executed, as to ensure his secret remains hidden, despite letting his anger out on the rebels still left on the moon. Palpatine still needs to maintain his stance as Emperor and rule the galaxy. In this moment, Palpatine knows that he is more powerful than the Emperor than he is as Darth Sidious, and thus, that is the facade he continues to maintain. The major difference here, other than canon, is that the Empire is still very much a unified figure. However, with the loss of Vader, Sidious is forced to take on a more active role in this moment. In canon, the rebellion barely defeated the Empire to begin with, and it was largely due to mass confusion and infighting within the Empire after the chain of command was altered that the rebellion won. With Palpatine still here and his secret hidden, the galaxy will remain in utter peril. Leia would venture into unknown space to begin training as a Jedi, leaving the rebellion vulnerable and open for attack. In a sense, the state of the galaxy is only slightly better than when the Empire ruled in the events just before A New Hope. The Empire is still the dominant force, but yes, there is still hope left in the galaxy in the form of Leia and the rebellion now being more powerful than they were in the events of Episode 4. But that is what I believe would happen if Palpatine killed both Vader and Luke on the second Death Star, and the state of the galaxy as well as the Empire as a result. As always though, I'm curious to hear what you would think would happen if Darth Sidious killed both Vader and Luke. What do you believe Sidious's as well as Leia's immediate reaction would be? Thank you so much for watching this installment of What If Star Wars Explained. If you want to see more What If stories, be sure to leave a like on the video. Also, if you have any future What If suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I very well may make one. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.